James, how are you, brother? Welcome to the call.
Great. How are you?
I've had better days, but I'm doing good. I was tested positive on Tuesday, so
Oh,
I probably shouldn't be on this call, but it's a testament to what Ron's got that's helping me too. So I'm
yep.
here.
Well, I know you'll get through it. Just yeah. Hopefully, you'll be one of the ones that'll get through it a lot quicker than others that it's hung around for a while with.
That's right. Thank you. Appreciate that. I
No, no.
received. Welcome to the call. Who else has joined us? This is the Enriching Gifts Education call.
This is
Roderick
Roger.
from Ohio.
I heard Roderick. Welcome. I also heard Ohio. Welcome from Ohio.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What was your first name in Ohio?
Curtis.
Curtis. Welcome. Welcome to the call.
Thank you.
Hey, Sanj. Uh, been down for the count, buddy. I got your message today, though. You'll hear from me.
Okay, sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome. I like your picture, too. You guys tell me about that one.
Okay.
All right. Welcome to the call. This is Dover and Washington taking introductions for the Enriching Gifts Education call. Who's online with us? If you have not had an opportunity to say hello, please do so.
Hello, Dover. This is Steve in Houston.
Hey, Steve, welcome to the call. We should be getting started here in another couple of minutes. Over in Washington, we'll take last minute introductions for the Enriching Gifts Education call. Who else has joined us? Unmute yourself, say hello. This is Dover in Washington, taking last minute introductions. Who else has joined us for the Enriching Gifts Education call? Unmute yourself, say hello. Okay, looks like Ron is joining us, so we'll get this call started. Ron, looks like you're online with us. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm trying to get set up to where I'm on Zoom, but it's not allowing for the video to come up.
Okay. Let's get the call started. All right, here we are, February 10th, 2021, Wednesday. And I guess it would still be Wednesday and maybe not in Australia. We have some guests from Australia online as well. So Wednesday here in the US, and we're super excited. We have the Enriching Gifts Education call. If you're just tuning in for the first time, this is a series of calls we've been doing for the start of the year on the Enriching Gifts product line. And so Ron, our host, who we'll introduce here in a moment, has showcased each product within the Enriching Gift product line. We're working on what he would call the fundamental five. We'll be wrapping up with that, I believe, tonight with the multivitamins. But it's just been a very, very rich, fruitful year, and being educated on what this product is, what it does, and some of the background behind it. So with that being said, I want to introduce Ron Schneider, the host for the call, founder, formulator for Enriching Gifts International, Enriching Gifts Montana. And so Ron, we're just very grateful, very fortunate to have you on the call. I shared some stuff with you. I'm not feeling the best, but I could tell you this, I'd be a lot worse off. I know this if it wasn't for some of the blessings you've shared with me. So I bring you out and say hello and welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Can everybody hear me okay? You can hear me okay, Dover?
Yep, loud and clear. They're giving me the thumbs up.
Okay, great. Yeah, I had to move a little bit. I had my nice fireplace, big roaring fire, and so it's too bad we're not on video tonight. But anyway, that's not the important part. The important part is the call and the information I have. So yeah, and one thing I want to just share with everybody, maybe you don't want me to share this, Dover, but I'm going to anyway. Dover keeps talking about my commitment to keeping coming these calls every single week and sharing all the information I have from traveling all over the world, what a commitment that is each and every week. And what you guys don't know is Dover's sick with this COVID thing. So, I mean, talk about showing up. I mean, he talked earlier with me. I know he's not feeling good. So I just want to acknowledge you, Dover, for showing up, even though you feel like crap. And, so I just want to acknowledge you for showing up tonight and still coming on these calls, hosting the call, just like I do each and every week, regardless of what your circumstance is. So I really appreciate you, buddy. And I want everybody else out there to know how committed you are to these calls every week as well. So with that being said, I do want to talk a little bit about the vitamins. And I've calmed myself down. I was going to tell everybody, go out and get your earmuffs, your coffee and stocking caps, your cotton balls, stuff your ears, because you're going to get an earful tonight. And I've been kind of thinking about this and going over what I want to say for the last hour, and I've calmed down a lot. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's not such a good thing. But the point about the vitamin, how important this vitamin is, and Dover mentioned earlier, it is the staple. It's the final product in our fundamental 5 products to maintaining and achieving optimum health that you can live with every day throughout an entire lifespan of your life. The enzymes are first and foremost, above anything and everything else. Because without digestion, you have no nutrients, the body will starve, you'll die, you'll never activate and carry out any functioning without nutrients. And that all comes from enzymes in the digestive process. So that was our first and foremost product when we started putting this fundamental 5 product step together. Second of all, without protection, the body's not going to be able to function and sustain functionality very long. So then you have to support and build a very strong immune system, which gives your body the ability to not only protect it, but alleviate everything that entered into your body or your environment that's potentially harmful to your body. So your cells and your genetics can function unimpeded, unimpaired throughout a lifespan. That's because of a healthy immune system. And then you have to have a healthy GI tract. You have to have healthy organs without toxicity. So we have the daily detox, we have the probiotics, and now we have the multivitamin. Because I'm going to go first full circle again, right back to what I first said about digestive enzymes. What's the purpose of digestive enzymes? Being able to supply nutrition to the cellular body. Because without nutrition, we all starve and die. And when you're a youngster and the newborn, without nutrition, you just don't develop. So vitamins and nutrition are the fundamental keys to cellular functioning. Digestion is just a major process that allows it to get from a food source into the cell so our body can function. And the number one problem, and this is where I got to calm down. So I'm going to take a breath, because this has bothered me since I was a high school athlete. This is how long this has really ate at my craw, bugged at my common sense, tremendous genius mind, and it still to this day makes no sense at all why anybody would put a nutrient of any form, McDonald's cheeseburger, T-bone steak, lobster and crab, beautiful Valentine's dinner like we're all coming up and approaching on this Sunday. Why would you eat anything not knowing if your body has the ability to provide nutrition from that food source through the digestive process so that the cellular body benefits. That today still bugs me and chaps my butt to no end. Because I want everybody to go to Walmart, go to Kmart, go to Albertsons, go to wherever your grocery store is in your local community tomorrow. Start pulling up the vitamins from GNC and all these other health food stores. Start pulling up all the vitamin labels, and I want you to look at those labels and tell me where's the digestive capability of that nutrient that's inside that bottle, tablet, capsule, or powder. Where is it? It doesn't lie in your body anymore. Here's a fundamental fact. I'm going to repeat it one more time for the millionth, 117th time. Every 10 years, the body lives their life from birth to death. You're going to lose a minimum of 8 to 10% of your digestive enzyme production capability for your body. That's through natural cellular deterioration and aging. Everybody on the planet experiences this. So as we get older, we become more and more reliant upon some other thing other than our body being able to produce the necessary enzymes for a complete and effective digestive process of our meal source and all those vitamins and supplements that we all spend a tremendous amount of money on each and every day. And we have been for over 50 years. You know, I go all the way back to 1976 when I finally graduated and became an adult and got out in the real world, got a job and everything else. 1976. That's over 45 years ago. And nothing has changed. There's still a major flaw within the nutrition industry worldwide. And it is a major flaw. And why do we know it still exists to this day? All you have to do, Lou, is look at disease and illness. What percentage of the general population is affected with a disease and illness over the age of 18 years of age? America, sadly to say, is the sickest population on the entire planet Earth, and we spend more than 3 times the amount of money on a healthcare system in our country than any other developed country in the entire world. We are dead last, and we spend 3 times more money on medicine, vitamins, supplementation. In fact, the granddaddy of the world for vitamin supplementation sales and consumers is the United States market. And we're dead last sickest of all nations on the planet Earth, and that even includes Ethiopia. Not meaning to pick on them, but everybody knows how bad and trodden down the living standards and the economy is in Ethiopia, or even in Haiti, some of those places. And yet they are healthier by percentage of population than the United States as far as disease and illness goes. Why? Because nobody is addressing the decline in the digestive capability of the human body beyond the age of 8 to 12 years old. By the time you're 20, it's all downhill after that, folks. Every single body on the entire planet Earth. And when you lose the ability to produce the enzymes to digest your meals, you're starving your body. And we all know it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out why people die of malnutrition called starvation, lack of nutrients to support cellular functioning in the human body. And that still goes on to this day in every single dietary supplement product I've ever picked up and looked at. So what makes Enriching Gifts International so dramatically different that we produce all these amazing health results for all these people with disease, illnesses, and health struggles? It's because when you turn that label and you look at that bottle, you're going to see the formula GR8CF77. That's in every single capsule, in every single product I produce, with the exception of 2. 2 of the products don't have it in there. And there's a very good reason why they're not in there, because you don't want it to digest too fast, or you don't even want it to digest at all, such as in the daily detox. We want the benefits of those herbs, those stimulative properties of living herbs. We don't want to break it down. So it's not in the daily detox. And it's not in the coral calcium, the coral light, because we don't need it. That if you break down calcium too fast, you're going to lose the alkalinity property of the long-time release properties from that calcium source. So 2 of our products don't have it in there. But the digestive enzyme is the GR8 CF70 formulation. And then look at the probiotics. Look at the Steromax. Look at the Complete Vitamin Plus. Look at the Metabolic Complete. Look at the Aloe Max. Look at the Hard Algae. All the nutrients that your body is supposed to benefit from within the capsules of these products, they'll have a digestive enzyme right in the capsule. So I don't have to worry about whether you're producing hydrochloric acid to activate protease enzymes to digest protein or not. I don't have to worry about how old you are. I don't have to worry about what your genetics are, which digestive enzymes you're missing because of genetic inherited factors. I don't have to worry about any of this stuff. What I can tell you is what's under the Enriching Gifts label and product line is 97.9 to 100% cellularly assimilated once consumed. I want to repeat that. 98.7% to 100% of the contents and nutritional value of our products inside these capsules are realized and metabolized at the cellular level. No other vitamin can say that. And the sad fact is we're not getting healthier and more disease-free as a population. We're getting sicker and sicker and sicker. Yes, we've extended lifespan by about 2 to 5 years for males and females, but those years are not spent on golf courses and swinging a golf club. They're spent in rest homes and wheelchairs and caretaker facilities. That's the sad fact. So even though we're living longer, we're more and more dependent upon a healthcare system to take care of us. We're not individuals out enjoying life like an 18-year-old person would be. So that's why you need nutrition. And it comes back to what supports healthy cellular functioning? Nutrition from an efficient digestive process of a food source. In this case, it's the Enriching Gifts Complete Vitamin Plus. And in the plus is for every single nutrient that's been identified that would benefit the human body is in this product. That's the plus. You're going to get all your basic RDA, recommended daily allowance nutrients, but instead of getting them at the minimum, the recommended daily minimum allowances, you're getting them at the optimum amount, the highest that your body can absorb and utilize. No sense of putting something in there that your body can't absorb because it's too much and it processes through the body too fast. So these are the considerations that went into this formulation of the Enriching Gifts Complete Vitamin Plus, as well as the overall entire product nutritional line of products. So I just want everybody to understand there's a fundamental difference between what we have here in our company under this label, the Enriching Gifts label, and what no other label anywhere in the United States or anywhere else I've ever traveled, and I've been in every country in the entire world but 6. No one else has what we have. And if you don't believe me, put this oatmeal test to good use. You can take any one of our products, the aloe, the the Heart Algae, the Metabolic Complete, the Complete Vitamin Plus, the Steromax, the probiotics, the digestive enzyme, of course, put it in a cooked glass of oatmeal and watch that thing turn to water. Well, what does that mean? If it's breaking down a solid glass of cooked oatmeal to liquid, it means it has digestive capability to it. And if it's digesting the oatmeal, then you know it's going to digest the nutrients inside the capsule as well. And that's what's uniquely different about Enriching Gifts. I can't overstate that. I can't say it enough. And I haven't said it anywhere near enough. This is probably the first time a lot of people on this phone call have even heard this. But that's why this works so well. That's why this is life-changing, health-changing inside of this company and product line. Because we do have the ability to deliver what's in the capsule nearly 100% to the cellular level. So there is no nutrition deficiencies inside the human body. So I just really wanted to focus on that tonight one last time, because going forward, I'm not going to talk about that much. But literally for the last 50 years, and it's probably even longer than that, but I'm just going to go statistically, since I believe it was 1975, 67% of the adult population in the United States has been consuming a daily dietary supplement. Think about that. That's 46 years that we absolutely have tracked. Not me, the government, the Institutes of Health. There's a whole bunch of FDA, there's a whole bunch of people that track this. 67% or more have used a daily dietary vitamin supplement, and still we have these horrific disease statistics about what percentage of our population is affected with a disease or a severely debilitating degenerative condition. And that's why. There's only one reason why. Because as you age, you lose the ability to digest what we consume, even the multivitamins, even all the organic foods and fruits and vegetables we consume. And I even looked up on this thing that's on TV. You'll see it all over the place. That little red and green bottle of vegetables and fruits on TV from this vitamin. It's all over. Balance of Nature, it's called. There's no digestive enzymes in there. As wonderful, as beautiful as all those commercials and the facility and the dehydration and the powdering and the preservation of nutrients, that company is everywhere. And there's a major flaw with even that product. And that's something that just recently came to light on national television all over the place. There's no digestive enzymes in there. None. I bought a bottle of each, put it in the oatmeal. You know what it did? Just turned it harder. Never broke it down at all. There's the problem. And there's people out there making billions upon billions upon billions of dollars at the expense of everyone's health. It's okay to make money, but for crying out loud, give somebody something that's going to change their life and their health. Don't just go out there and make money because it's popular and you can do it. And that's the problem with the whole industry. They got great marketing. Man, that's some beautiful marketing on TV. I watch it all the time. But then I look at the guy, and he's only 56 years old, the inventor. He's completely white like Santa Claus. He's got wrinkles all over the place. And I'm pretty sure he's taken his own product. And he looks fit. He's a thin guy, but he's old. You know, and a lot of that plays into genetics, I know. But, you know, for somebody that's got that great of a product, boy, he sure looks awful old and aged for what he's doing. And that's something that I can say. I don't look anywhere near my age. I don't have a lot of wrinkles. And I certainly don't have a lot of gray hair. That's why I got a beard. That's the only place on my body I got gray hair. If I can show I'm at least over 55 or 50. I'm 65. So there's a lot that I look at when I look at that commercial. But the bottom line is, I bought it. I looked for ingredients. There's no digestive enzyme help in there whatsoever. So even though you see all these or hear these great testimonials, this and that, and even listening to the testimonials with results, nobody ever says what it is. Just, boy, they wouldn't be the same without it. Helped me overcome, fatigue and tiredness. Just real basic stuff. So anyways, I want to get to the Complete Vitamin Plus under our Enriching Gifts label. But I just wanted to get that out there one last time. Everybody's got to get this. I don't care what you eat, what you consume, how clean it is. If you don't have digestive enzymes with it, it's worthless. You just ingested toxicity. Regardless of the marketing, regardless of the testimonies, regardless of anything else, all of that crap out there isn't going to change the way your body functions. And without digestive enzymes, there is no delivery of nutrients to the cellular level. Plain and simple. So let me go over the formula, and like I said, I'm going to go over this kind of quickly tonight a little bit. I spent already 15 minutes just on that little blurb there, but it is critically important that I spend some time on that, because that is really the fundamental difference between Enriching Gifts, the company, as a vitamin and nutrition-based company, and every single other vitamin-based company in the market worldwide. So as I told you earlier, we do have optimum amounts, not minimum RDA requirements of most, if not all, RDA nutrients, recommended daily allowances. Take an example. We have vitamin A. We have 4,000 IUs, and that is per 2 capsules. So again, if you're looking at 150 capsules per bottle, that's 5. Well, we're at 80% on 2 capsules. So we're at 160% on 4 capsules. So we're pretty close to almost 190% over RDA minimum requirements just on our vitamin A. And that's just one source of vitamin A. You actually have 2. First 2 ingredients is vitamin A from 2 different sources. Again, we have another 4,000 IUs, which again is 80%. So again, you have three, let's see, what do we say, 80, 81, 60, 190, 380, you're at almost 400% above RDA allowances for vitamin A. Then you have vitamin C, which is an antioxidant. We're at over 333% of daily values, again, just on 2 capsules. So if you're taking the 5, that's over 700% above RDA recommended daily allowances. Vitamin D3 specifically says vitamin D3. We're at 40%. So if you take 5 capsules, you are at 100% RDA, but it's vitamin D3. It's already the synthesized form that your body would produce on its own for utilizing calcium levels. Because here's the thing about vitamin D3. That's what your body makes out of cholesterol, LDL cholesterol specifically, converts it into vitamin D3. Well, why is that important? Because vitamin D3 is what allows for calcium to be brought into and utilized at a cellular level once it's absorbed in the bloodstream. You can absorb calcium. You can absorb calcium carbonate, citrate, malate, nitrate, sulfate, citrate, malate. There's a whole bunch of different forms of calcium, and they all do the same thing. They neutralize acid, basically. But once they're absorbed, they can't get anywhere near the cell. The cell doesn't know how to use them. Oh, but then we attach vitamin D3 to calcium. Oh, that's the horse leading the cart right into the cell. So that's why it's so critical to have vitamin D3 to manage alkalinity of the human body. You can consume all the calcium you want, but you're not going to alkalize anything without vitamin D3. So if you're deficient in vitamin D3, calcium is not going to be utilized properly to do what it's designed to do, both as a alkalizing factor and also as a hormonal balancing factor to a lot of the different glands in the human body. And it's also an antioxidant. Vitamin C is an antioxidant. Vitamin D, which is a fat-based lipid, again, it comes from LDL cholesterol, which is a fat-based lipid. Those are all antioxidants. A, C, E, D, they're all antioxidants. Different properties and different levels, but they're all main category of antioxidants. And then you have vitamin E, the next one down, which is 200%. So we've got literally 500% more than RDAs of vitamin E. And vitamin E is an antioxidant. It also is just like HDL cholesterol. It never ever solidifies and oxidizes in its environment of oxygen. So you never have to worry about building up. And that also adds slickness, circulation. It's great for reducing oxidation to the artery. Arteriosclerosis, hardening of the arteries, inability of the arteries to expand and contract. And that's one reason why people end up getting high blood pressure, hypertension, because those arteries are rigid now through oxidation. They're like cement instead of a garden hose, which is flexible. And that's one of the benefits of consuming larger amounts of vitamin E. And then you have potassium. Potassium is the nutrient that activates the enzyme that releases a protein that causes thickness, the viscosity of your blood. That's what potassium is primarily used for. It regulates and releases proteins to regulate blood pressure and blood thickness. So if you put in too much potassium, you're going to actually have too thick a blood, which is going to put a lot of pressure against your heart. And again, so that's why these kind of nutrients are in here, so you can activate the enzymes that regulate and balance out. Because without the ability to produce excess protein from potassium levels, then you get the reverse. Hey, you've got this big increase of an enzyme that actually thins the blood. There is no ability to thicken the blood. So people that have strokes and aneurysms, older folks that have all those blood spots from broken vessels on their hands and stuff, all of those people are deficient in potassium. So they're on potassium pills. But potassium thickens the blood. That's the one thing it does. It activates the enzymes to release more proteins to balance out and create that viscosity thickness that's so important in the blood. And then you have vitamin B1, B2, B3, B4, B6, B12. We got an entire B complex in here. And again, if you look at them, there is 10 milligrams, which is 600%, just with 2 capsules. The next one, 500 and Let me get into the light. 588% for 2 capsules. 100% for 2 capsules. Vitamin B3, 500% for 2 capsules. Folic acid, 80% for 2 capsules. Vitamin B12, 666% for 2 capsules. So now you start multiplying that by 2.5, you're 1,000, over 1,000% of RDA recommended. Do you see why this is starting to work for people? This isn't just something that's got a teeny amount, just enough to put it on a label and get it by. No, these are huge amounts that your body can use, and they're in a form, they're fully digested because of the GR8CF77 enzyme and mineral formula in there, that whatever you have in excess, it's at least broken down, digested, so the body can eliminate it. You don't have accumulation problem. So again, that's just kind of some of the things. And B12 is so important for brain function, for nerve health. I mean, for the ability to stimulate as well as relax the human body. It's a major, major inflammatory factor to regulate inflammation in the body. And there are times when you need to create inflammation, such as an injury, when you cut yourself. You want inflammation to expand, to slow down that blood flow that you're losing through that cut, wherever it's at. And then you have biotin. That's not really a huge thing, but biotin is for hair follicles. And everybody talks about this, all of these hair products that are on national TV, on Home Shopping, QVC, what's some of the other one, Evine. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of beauty product infomercials all over national news. Hair growth is such a big deal. I never ever dreamed it was such a big deal. Baldness is such a big deal. Never dreamed that. I don't have any of that stuff, so I guess I never realized it was such a big deal. But biotin is one of the primary nutrients for hair follicle health. And that's one of the reasons, that's the main reason why it's actually in this product. So we looked at a lot more than just the metabolic body and the metabolic cells. We looked at overall health. That even includes your hair, your skin, your nails. It's all in this product. I tried to really increase the intensity of it in the amino acid product, but unfortunately, that just didn't quite sell and catch on enough. And I don't know whether it was me not being educated to educate you guys about all the benefits of what was in there or not, but for whatever reason, it just didn't take off. But biotin's actually in the Enriching Gifts Complete Vitamin Plus product. And then again, you have the B5, and that completes all the Bs. You got B1, you got B2, you got B3, 4, 5, 6, and 12. You have all the B vitamins. We didn't miss anything. And then you go to calcium citrate, which is a citrus-derived calcium. And again, you have 100 milligrams, which is 10%. So, but that's not the only one. You have calcium citrate, you have citrate malate, you have dicalcium malate. See if there's any other calciums in here. So that's 2. Yeah, so you have 2 sources of calcium in here, and that citrate malate is actually the chlorocalcium form. We don't list it as chlorocalcium in this product because we have it in the other one. And again, there are not high doses in the complete vitamin because we also have the Coral Light, which is nothing but pure chlorocalcium. And that's where you're going to get your daily requirements of calcium from, and optimum amounts for bone health, teeth, managing headaches and things like that is from the chlorocalcium product. And that's got a tremendous amount of calcium in it, way beyond the RDAs as well. And then you have iodine. And iodine, I want to remind everybody, with all of these hormonal issues, especially thyroid problems, Hashimoto's and sluggish thyroids and overweight problems and all of that, that's your thyroid. Your thyroid does 2 things. It maintains body temperature, which is the most important thing that it does, but it's also a master hormone regulator for a lot of the other hormones you put out into your bloodstream and into your body. It counterbalances or counteracts them. So it's a really important gland, the thyroid, and the primary nutrient for the thyroid is iodine. And so many people are severely deficient in iodine today. Why? Not because it's not in the diet. They eat a lot of meat, and they eat a lot of seafood and things like that. It's because of the filtered or the city water. City water, you're drinking city water that's not filtered. You're showering in city water that's not filtered. You're bathing in city water that's sitting out in your backyard in your hot tub or in your municipality swimming pool. All of that has chlorine in it to sterilize it. And chlorine readily binds with iodine and literally leaches to it, attaches to it, and then pulls it out of your body every time you urinate or you go take a poop. You're losing iodine at a real heavy rate because of all the chlorine that's added to city water to make it safe. And that's where everybody is becoming so deficient in iodine, why there's so many hormonal problems, especially linked to the thyroid. That's why I have iodine in here. And the amount of iodine in here is pretty significant. It's 100% of the RDA minimums. And again, you're going to get iodine in a lot of other products like the hard algae, like the metabolic complete. That has seaweed, kelp. Just the algae source alone and the hard algae is loaded with iodine. That's one of the reasons that gives it its red color and tint. Astaxanthin is not the only property that gives hard algae that deep red brownish color. There's a tremendous amount of iodine, and also omega-3, 6, 9 essential fatty acids are in the hard algae, and I never ever even talked about that. So we're going to talk about some of those extra ingredients that we never talk about when we start talking about the hard algae and the metabolic complete and things like that as we go through the formula. But iodine is critical to every person's body, and that's why it's in here to that 100% form. And then you have magnesium, and again, I want to straighten something out because I had this conversation with a gentleman just literally this week. The ratios of magnesium to calcium. You know, it used to be, you had to have the 3-to-1, and optimum was 2-to-1, and this and that, and on and on. And he asked me about the coral calcium. And I said, you don't have to be optimum anything in there. That's already in a balance for optimum absorption as well as utilization of calcium at the cellular level. Because it's already come from a living source, like a living coral reef. So it's already been through that process. And today, because of the digestive enzymes, you don't need those 2-to-1, 3-to-1 ratios anymore. You don't. Because most people don't even digest and break down 1/10 of what they're consuming in a vitamin or another supplement. So those ratios all these years have not made any difference at all. And you certainly don't need them now. So we've got the magnesium, and you do have 100% of your RDAs in here. It's 35 for 2 capsules, so 70, so it's near 100%. And then you also have zinc, 10 milligrams, and that's 66% for 2 capsules. Remember, you're using 5 capsules a day of the Complete Vitamin Plus. That's why it's packaged in 150 capsules. So you use up 5 a day for 30 days, there's your 150. And then you have zinc, and this is chelated zinc. This is really important. This is not elemental zinc. This is already chelated. It's in a process, and it's already been bound with amino acids, so it's recognized by your cell once it actually hits the bloodstream. It can be utilized at the cellular level 100%. And that's huge for your immune system, especially right now we're dealing with COVID. There's nothing more important, not even close to vitamin C or echinacea or any of that stuff. That's not going to kill that virus, but your immune system cells will. It's already designed to do that. And what activates and creates the activity of your immune system cells is zinc. That activates the enzymes that regulate how fast and active your immune system cells function within your body. Zinc does that. And if you go back to President Trump when he was being treated for COVID-19, him and Melania at Walter Reed Hospital, what was his protocol? Well, there was Regeneron, and then there was that synthetic, Regeneron was the synthetic antibody, but then there was chloroquine or something quin, chloroquine. And that was actually to help, that was the immune system therapy. And I was just talking with Dover today. You don't need to go through all of that. The only thing that he really got, because remember, he was taking that chloroquine as a preventative. That was always, he was taking that way before he ever got COVID-19. So that didn't work out real well. But it didn't hurt, but it obviously didn't help him. So that kind of blew up in his face. But Regeneron is the synthetic antibodies that mimic the human body's antibodies. And that's what saved all of those people that came back from Africa, from Sierra Leone, that male white doctor and nurse Span from Vietnam, and also the other nurse that was quarantined in New York with Ebola. They took the antibodies out of his body because he survived it. He developed an immunity to it, strained those antibodies out, and put it in Nurse Span on national television. Everybody saw her recover from Ebola in less than 2 weeks, and she was almost dead. They expected her to die any day. It was all over national news. So again, we're getting back to synthetic antibodies. Where'd they get the antibodies? From people that have survived and created the antibodies for the COVID-19 crisis within their body. And then all they've done is taken those antibodies, strained them out, cloned them, mass-produced them, and then they put them in a so-called drug therapy. No, that's called an immune system therapy. Immunotherapy, 100%. Drugs have nothing to do with it. And those antibodies literally have enzymes that they'll secrete and destroy the COVID-19 virus. And so that's really, really important. But anyway, that's what zinc does. It really revs up your body's immune system to a very active state to produce these antibodies. You get very efficient functioning, real high activity, and that's one of the major things that you can do for your body during this COVID-19 crisis. And just while I'm talking about it, it's at least 20 milligrams. So we have over 20 milligrams because this is per 2 capsules, 10 milligrams. So this is more than adequate to use against COVID-19 as far as zinc goes. And then you also have selenium. And then you have from there vitamin D3, specifically 2,000 IUs every single day. And then you have a baby aspirin. And there's one other one that I'm forgetting. So we got vitamin D3. We've got the baby aspirin. We have the zinc. We have the selenium. There's one more I'm forgetting. Doggone it. I can't think of it right now. I'll think
It's
before we hang up,
melatonin,
though.
Ron. It's melatonin.
Yeah, that's something you can use. That relaxes. That's
Okay.
more of an anti-inflammatory. But that's not the one that I was thinking of. I'm talking about the protocol treatment that Trump got in Walter Reed Hospital. There's one. I said baby aspirin, right? Yeah, because he had the Regeneron, and then he had a baby aspirin, 81 milligrams. He had the vitamin D3, 2,000 IUs, 20 milligrams a day of zinc, selenium, and there is melatonin. There's a lot of people that use that, but I'm trying to think exactly what he specifically used in Walter Reed. And there was 5 things. So Regeneron, vitamin D3, baby aspirin, well, selenium and zinc. Yeah, those are the 5 things. That's exactly what he was given for his protocol and treatment when he was hospitalized at Walter Reed. And melatonin, by the way, melatonin is what your body uses to induce sleep. So it puts you in a relaxation mode. It's actually really, really used real well as an anti-inflammatory, and it puts your body into a relaxed state, almost like some of these herbs that they used to use. I can't think them off the top of my head, but there's several of them that they used to use to relax the body, reduce inflammation. And that's what melatonin would be used for in the protocol for COVID. But anyway, moving on here real quick. We've got copper and zinc. A lot of people don't know this. When you have copper, 10 parts copper to 1 to 2 parts, or 10 parts zinc, 1 to 2 parts copper, because there's 800 micrograms, which is less than 1 milligram. So if we have 10 units of zinc and 1 close to 1 milligram of copper, that's a 10 to 1, 12 to 1 ratio. And when you have ratios of 10 to 1, 12 to 1, zinc to copper, you have the best antioxidant. It almost perfectly mimics superoxide dismutase enzyme, which is your body's antioxidant enzyme. but it just gives the property, zinc and copper gives the property the same benefit and effect as a superoxide dismutase antioxidant enzyme in your body. And so that's another reason why this is very specifically formulated 12-to-1. And just want everybody to know that, because there's a lot of really, when you look at the ratios of some of these vitamins, virtually almost all of them, at least 80% of them, there's a very specific reason why you have a certain milligram of this and a certain milligram of that and a few micrograms of that. There's very specifically synergistic properties that are achieved within this formulation by the amounts that are actually in here under each and every ingredient. Then manganese, we have chromium polynicotinate, and chromium inhibits sugar. It's great for a diabetic. It inhibits your body's uptake as well as conversion of sugar into blood glucose. Potassium, again, is yep, I guess we didn't talk about that. I just got into a tangent about potassium earlier. But again, we have potassium in here. And again, potassium is a blood coagulant factor. And then you get into all of the plus now. There is no RDAs. That's why you see pluses all to the right on the label. Daily value percentages, not established. So all the ingredients I'm going to read here, this is in addition to daily values established by the FDA and the AMA. So then we start out with spirulina. Well, what I know about spirulina, it's the most densely nutritious protein source on the planet Earth, bar none, gram for gram, compared to animal flesh, any other protein source you want to compare it to. It's the most complete, and it's the most nutritiously dense per gram or per volume of whatever you're measuring it against. It has all the amino acids for the human body, every single one of them. It's in really high amounts for the amount of weight or milligrams that you want to compare it to. Nothing, it's like the superfood. They call it a superfood for very, very good reason. And nothing is as dense as spirulina or blue-green algae. Even the red algae is extremely dense in amino acid nutritional profiling, but I don't want to market it as that. It has a much, much better value for antioxidants and oxidation reduction in the human body. So then you get into boron, which is an amino acid chelate. And when you see amino acid chelate on the label, it means it's already been chelated. Chelate, it means to claw or attach to or hold on to something. So when you attach an amino acid, that amino acid is what allows the human cell to recognize that nutrient as something friendly and benefits our body. Because when you go through the digestive process, everybody thinks about digestion as breaking something down. Yeah, it does. Enzymes break it down. But it can't be absorbed without an amino acid. Usually in the GI tract, it's called metallothionein number 1. Is your body's amino acid chelating. That's what allows it to be absorbed from the GI tract through those villi into the bloodstream, and then in turn be recognized by the cell as a friendly nutrient. If it's not chelated, it's going to float around as a metabolite. Your body doesn't know what to do with it. It can't recognize it. It doesn't have a chelate to it. So the digestive process is not only just breaking down a nutrient from an elemental form to an ionic state, but it's also the process of attaching a chelate to it. And usually your body attaches an amino acid, chelates it or binds that amino acid right to that nutrient before it gets absorbed in the bloodstream. Therefore, then it's cellularly recognizable and beneficial. But again, we go over to boron. And boron is a nutrient that's very beneficial to joint health. You know, I was over in New Zealand with the sailing yachting team over there. I do have a T-shirt, got all their signatures. I met them, but the captain of the yachting club for the New Zealand sailing team for America's Cup, his mom was dying of cancer, and that's why I went over there. I was working with her, and we talked about boron. And in New Zealand, one of the major problems in the sheep industry is the sheep get rickets. Their joints literally bust and crack like cement. It's because of severe boron deficiency. And you give them boron, and the rickets and all of the inflammation in the joints and stuff, it disappears literally in 6 months. So their soil is severely depleted of boron, and so the sheep never get it in their diet. And that's why we have it in here for bone health. It's really critical for your bone health in the human body, not just sheep. Then choline, and choline is in here for, again, your hair, because choline and I was just talking about here earlier, biotin. Choline and biotin are synergistic cofactors to each other. One doesn't really work very well without the other one. So that's why we have the choline in here for those hair follicles, hair, skin, and nail health. And then, of course, you see the GR8, CF77 enzyme and mineral blend. And again, that's what's going to allow for every nutrient in this vitamin capsule to be utilized at the cellular level. It's fully digested once that capsule is exposed to moisture and those enzymes activate. Then you have Gugu lipids. These are unique fats. And again, these are really, really good for brain health. They actually help to prevent plaque formation within the brain cells and circulatory vessels. Bee pollen, this is propolis. It's very, very good. It's very enzymatically active. Lots of B12 within bee pollen. Inositol is another nutrient for muscle synthesis. That's really good for preventing the lactic acid buildup in your body. Citrus bioflavonoid complex. This is lemons, limes. This is a whole bunch of antioxidants from citrus sources. Lemons, limes, grapefruit, so on and so forth. They're very, very high in antioxidant properties. And again, there's 10 milligrams. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're utilizing all 10 milligrams times 2.5, you've got 25 milligrams worth. And if you're using 100%, that's more than most vitamin C's at 1,000 milligrams, believe it or not. So again, just another extended source of antioxidant value and properties from a citrus source. Rutin, it's a herb and it's good for the digestive, helps along in the digestive process. Grapeseed extract. I don't have to tell you guys about grapeseed extract. It's one of the very, very best broad spectrum antioxidants that can actually cross grapeseed extract doesn't. The pine bark crosses the blood-brain barrier, giving antioxidant properties, helping to prevent diseases like brain cancers and things like that. And I'll get to that here in a second because it is in this product. But grapeseed extract, again, very, very good antioxidant property. It's very high in OPCs, which is a unique category of antioxidants. And then you get into the royal jelly. And again, royal jelly, this is 5.8% 10-HDA. And again, royal jelly is really, really healthy for brain health as well. It's got some very unique nutrients as well as antioxidant enzymes in it. And then you have coenzyme Q10, quercetin. Everybody knows or should know that coenzyme Q10 is one of the main enzymes in the heart. And coenzyme Q10 is really more like a vitamin supplement that kind of activates a unique group of enzymes that carry out functionality in the human heart. And that's what it's good for. And when you start taking Lipitor or those statin drugs, they attach and leach on to, just like the chlorine leaches to iodine. You have a whole bunch of these different drugs that actually leach and deplete your body of coenzyme Q10. And that's why lower levels of coenzyme Q10, more often than not, are linked to heart attacks and strokes because the coenzyme Q10 is a very necessary nutrient for really good heart health. And then I mentioned earlier about the pine bark. And I want everybody, when you pick up the bottle of Complete Vitamin Plus, I want you to look at something. Because, I literally was in a network marketing company called Care International. Care International is the company that brought the white pine bark from the maritime pine tree in the southern coastal grounds of France to the United States. They were the first network marketing company to have pycnogenol out in the workplace. And Lamar Rosequist, a chiropractor out of North Dakota, him and his son made a tape that sold as many copies as Dead Doctors Don't Lie with Joe Wallace. You couldn't even have a tape. You got tape in the mail, it was Lamar Rosequist. And that company literally exploded from about 20,000, 30,000 distributors to well over 500,000. And they did that in less than 2 years. And it was because great product, great ingredient, 2 flaws. One, it was network marketing, which means it's very expensive. And 2, there was only one company that had it. So it had very, very limited distribution to the actual consumer. But what it is, it's the white pine bark extract from the maritime pine tree. And they used this way back in the shipping days of slaves and stuff to cure everybody of scurvy. And that they just peel off the bark, boil it, and then drink it, and it cured them of scurvy and stuff on those long ship rides across the ocean with the slaves and stuff. But here's what I'm getting at. I want everybody to look at the label Pycnogenol in your local GNC health food store. You're going to see it's almost $1 per milligram. You're not going to see 50 and 100, 250, 500 milligram capsules or tablets of white pine bark extract from the maritime tree. It's way too expensive. What you probably see is a 20 to a 30 milligram per capsule or tablet. And you're going to see a $35 to $50 price tag just on that one single item. 20 to 30 milligrams, 60 capsules, maybe 90 at the very most. It's an expensive product. It's an expensive process. But even as good as the word Pycnogenol, the trademark name from Horfag Research over in England, even as good as that is, the trademark percentage of proanthocyanidins, that's the active ingredient within this maritime white pine bark extract. The proanthocyanidins, the percentage of active ingredient per milligrams of white pine bark is only 83%. And it's standardized. It's standardized 83%, which means every single milligram, that 83% pure of that 30 milligrams, whatever the dosage is 83% pure proanthocyanidins active pine bark ingredient. Now I want everybody to look at ours, our OPC, our proanthocyanidin content. Ours is 95% standardized, pure, white pine, maritime pine bark extract in our product. Okay, 95%, not 83, and it's nowhere near that expensive. We have a highest quality of maritime pine bark extract anywhere in the world. You cannot get higher than 95%. Nobody does 95% because it's so expensive. Even the doggone Pycnogenol trade name won't even use the 95%. Not because they don't have access to it. Oh, yes, they do. But it's so expensive under that network marketing or that retail brand now. And by the way, that was actually sold to Hinkle and Schmidt Water Company, I think back in 1987, 88, somewhere around there. So now Water Company owns this, not some big vitamin company or some big network marketing company. Nope, it's all been sold and it's been marketed now under the trademark name Pycnogenol. But always remember that trademark name, even as expensive as it is, they only have 83% purity and potency for their tablet or capsule. We have 95% standardized OPC proanthocyanidin per capsule. We don't have tablets. Okay? They just want to point out some of the very distinct values of some of these very unique ingredients that we have under the Enriching Gifts product line, especially the Complete Vitamin Plus. And then I'm going to get to, after that, you're going to get into ginkgo biloba extract. And ginkgo actually increases oxygenation to brain vessels. So you got muddled thinking, you got a little bit of fogginess, you kind of got a little wooziness and problems with memory and things like that. Those are almost always lack of oxygen, sufficient amounts of oxygen getting into brain cells themselves. So again, ginkgo biloba has a property that helps to expand the vessels that are circulating throughout the brain itself, which is going to give them way more oxygen uptake in those particular circulatory vessels. And then you have sodium copper chlorophyll. And again, that's just a sodium-bound copper that kind of is an addition to the other copper. Bilberry extract, and we have 25% anthocyanidins. Instead of having proanthocyanidins, anthocyanidins, which is in the same category. It's a very specific kind of a bioflavonoid, unique properties all on its own, because it does cross the blood-brain barrier. So again, here you see bilberry, and it's very good for your eye. It's very good for eye health. That's why it's in here. That's the you talk about macular nerve degeneration. One of the reasons the nerves deteriorate so much is oxidation. And then they also lack amino acids, 3 specific amino acids to be exact. Pat Roberts from Pat Roberts University and Medical Center. This goes way, way back into the late 80s. He actually could reverse macular degeneration with a supplementation program of amino acids. And there's only 3 of them, but there were really, really high amounts. And he could actually save a whole lot of people from going blind just with amino acids. So again, when you think about the amino acids that we have or used to have under the Enriching Gifts label, that's another great reason why you'd want to have amino acids to always maintain very good eye health. Can't say enough about amino acids when it comes to eye health. But again, that's bilberry. That's a specific ingredient that's got very, very high properties, antioxidant properties and stuff that would tremendously benefit the human eye, especially in the areas of macular degeneration or eye deterioration. Then you have PABA, and then the last ingredient is alpha-lipoic acid, which is tremendously beneficial for the nerves of the human body. Alpha-lipoic acid is one of the main, very unique ingredients that can actually accelerate growth and maintenance, of healthy growth and maintenance of nerve tissue in the human body. It's a very unique nutrient. Very few nutrients have any influence on nerves, because nerves are the absolute slowest growing tissues of all tissues in the human body. And so if you have nerve damage like my feet and stuff, I take a lot of alpha-lipoic acid along with my Complete Vitamin Plus. Because if there's any hope at all that I can grow or accelerate the growth of those nerves, I'm going to certainly go ahead and take advantage and try to do that. So that gives you the Complete Vitamin Plus, and you've seen the whole left or right side of the label is all plus, 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 plus of nutrients that are going to benefit the human body. So that's the breakdown of our multivitamin. And again, I just want to stress one last time, we are going to have 98.7 to 100% full use of every single nutrient inside those capsules, inside that bottle, because of that GR8 digestive enzyme that's also part of that nutritional makeup of the contents within that capsule. And I can't tell you, and please, somebody else go out and try to find it. I can't find it anywhere. It doesn't exist in GNC's Health. It doesn't exist in Montana Harvest. It doesn't exist under any other label, one-a-day, multiple light. And there's nothing out there that has that digestive component in the capsule or the tablet. It doesn't exist, and if it does, I just can't seem to find it. And that's what's flawed and missing, and why all nutritional products are totally inadequate for human needs of the nutritional level of the cellular functioning. You just don't have the ability to get it there. And if you're over the age of 38, well, you can kiss that whole thing goodbye, because your body already produces less than 50% of the digestive enzymes it did at age 15. There's no way you're going to be able to digest your basic meals, let alone your nutritional supplements and all this organic, good, rich, healthy stuff for you. There's a reason why it's not working. And it's not that complicated. It's been out there and been around for at least 45 years. And it's been something that I've struggled with as an athlete in high school. And I don't know where it came from. I guess because my mom was selling vitamins, and I was this skinny, long, tall, 6'2", 2.5 foot runt. I mean, I only weighed 143 pounds, and I was 6'2.5". We'll figure that out. Look what that looks like. Just nothing but muscle tissue everywhere that I hang. But man, you can literally see my gut muscles through my skin. I'm so thin. And and I've always said there's something missing. There's something missing, because it wasn't about me not doing the work in the gym or running miles every day and all the time. I could do that. But I just wasn't getting muscular like my younger brothers were, my neighbor, my best friend. I was a runt left behind, and I was the one consuming all these protein powders and supplements. And I finally stopped. It's a waste of money, a waste of my time. It's not doing me any good. But why? 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 That's always bugged me my whole life. Well, last 30 years, now I understand why. And it's bigger and larger than life itself. It's out there in plain sight for everybody to see. And I love challenging any company that says otherwise. And that's what grew me as a company when I very first started private labeling with enzymes. It's the missing link. Everybody knew it. It made sense what I was saying, because all you had to do is look at the disease statistics across America and the world. They're glaring. They're right out there in your face. Nobody can deny it. So we've got something to do something about all of this. We're a very, very unique company. And I'll say it one more time. I've said it a lot of times. I'm a multi-billion-dollar company just waiting to be discovered by the general public, because there's nothing out there like us. Nothing. And if there is, I sure can't find it. So that's all I'm going to say about tonight's call. Let's open it up for some question and answer if we have time for that. Comments, questions, anybody?
Don't be shy. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, I was going to say, am I still on the phone?
You're here, and you hit it on the head, Ron. I've never heard you. There's quite a bit of stuff I haven't heard you ever say or talk about, let alone.
Right. Yeah. And like I was telling my daughter, Dover, I'm going to come out and get out to Texas sometime in March, early April. But I'm going to really hit it hard trying to be out there in March. And the one thing I want to go over is this thing about how unique we are as a nutritional company. I don't think you've ever touched on it. It's not nothing to say negative against you or Roderick or anybody, but nobody is out there slamming home the fact where you got this whole nutritional industry everywhere on a global basis, hundreds of billions of dollars annually spent, and yet we still have disease and illness, heart attacks, strokes, cancer, diabetes, arthritis, affecting more and more and more and more of the general population every single year that goes by. So how are you going to slow it down? Because it's going to bank. You know, Dr. Oz was talking not too that long ago, and so was Dr. Phil McGraw talking about how diabetes in the year 2025 is going to destroy the entire healthcare system worldwide, because you'll have over 50% of the global population walking around with diabetes. And it's an extremely, extremely expensive disease to treat. And nobody is talking about the fact where we've got this unique digestive enzyme solution or formula inside every single capsule of nutrients that we provide to a consumer. It's 100% digested. We can guarantee near 100% digestion and cellular assimilation. So you're not wasting any money. You're not getting 10, 12% absorption of a 100 milligram capsule. You're getting 98.7% to 100% cellular assimilation and nutrient use at the cellular level of our product line. No other company out there has that. Nobody. And I put one-a-day multivitamins. You can see it's a hard-pressed tablet. I put Centrum. I put all these different brands in the oatmeal test. They don't do anything, not a single thing. Well, if they can't digest themselves, then what's going to do it? Your old age body? Some 80-year-old woman that's got huge digestive problems and cancer? How's she going to turn that around? She can't produce enough hydrochloric acid to activate the enzymes. And oh, by the way, what enzymes does she produce? She's 80-some years old. She's only got 10, 20% left of production of her enzymes for digestion of whatever she's taken to try to counteract and reverse that whole process of disease and illness. It's not going to happen. It's not out there. That's why we're able to produce the results we're producing. That's why people are getting all of these help and these disease-reversing health benefits all the time. So I need to get this on the end somewhere. And the other thing that I want to talk about on that in Texas is our price value. You know, I talked to Talia and Stephen here just real recently about this, and this is what I was getting to more so than anything else. Nobody has ever gotten the balls to go out there and just compare themselves to other brands, popular brands in the marketplace, like Centrum, like One A Day. Forget about comparing the quality to quality, or like Enzymatica or Enzyme Process or Standard Process. I'm going to go ahead and have those products, and I'm going to have current pricing, and I'm going to compare our Enriching Gifts digestive enzyme to about 5 to 10 different labels. We are going to come out. I do it to Enzymatica all the time, and I noticed that their formulas have changed now because they probably got harped on long enough. I've been picking on that company for well over 20 years. Ever since I got my own Enriching Gifts label, they were the first one that I took and started comparing apples to apples. If you take their formulation and you're looking at 30 capsules, they had a 30 capsule count bottle. I ran across this, by the way, out in the Amish. It was real popular in the Amish community. And I was out in Ohio and Wisconsin where I ran across it. In fact, it was Sheldon, Wisconsin with Katie Miller. I love her, bless her heart, I'll never forget her, but boy, did she give me a hard time. And finally, she even had to admit, that's pretty stupid to continue buying that stuff. And what it was 30 capsules. They had just exactly, looked almost like my panel. They had HUTs, the HUTs, amylase, cellulase, protease, all the different enzymes that I had. Same formulation almost down to the T. Except I had bromelain in mine, and they had some kind of I think they had rutin as an herb or something. But anyway, so I took the active ingredients, and by the way, on their label it says per 2 capsules, not per capsule, per 2 capsules. So now you had to sit there and divide what they were saying on their label. Their protease activity was 6,250. Oh, wait a second. That comes down to 3,125 when you divide it capsule to capsule, because at that time I was comparing one single capsule, 132,000 HUTs of activity. They had 3,125. So let's just play this out real quick. And the whole other formula followed right along with the very similar outcome. So I'm not going to go through every single ingredient, but irregardless, this is what it comes out to. So I have 132,000 HUTs, hemoglobin units is tyrosine. That's the measuring method to determine how much protease activity was there. And they had 6,250 per 2 capsules. So to get a single cap comparison, divide it in half, 3,125. And they were selling theirs 30 capsules for $18.99 a bottle, $19. Or no, I'm sorry, $17.99. It's $18 a bottle for 30 capsules. Okay, so we have 270 capsules. So right off the bat, you have to multiply 18 times 9. 18 times 9. And it came out to 160 some dollars. Okay, well, ours is only $100. Full retail, I'll save you $60 right off the bat. Just per capsule. But let's just go back and remember one very important thing. They only have 3,125 units of protease activity per capsule. We got 132,000. So now we've got already that $160 price tag to get to the 270 count capsules. But now 3,000, you'd have to multiply that by 40. 3,000 times 40 is only 120,000. And they had to get up to 132,000. Well, that 125, okay, well, times that times 40. Well, now we're getting pretty close. Now, they still didn't get to 132, but they got to 130,000 something. So now multiply 160 times 40. 160 times 40. Yeah, you're looking at 4,000 some dollars that you'd have to pay under that label, Enzymatica, to get what's in one of my $100 bottles of product. And if you aren't pissed off to know you've been cheated and screwed around and lied to and misled so badly by that nutritional company, I don't know what would tick you off. But that's not just that company, people. That's the entire nutritional industry. I can do that label by label, product by product all day long. And people will want to say how expensive my product is. I say BS to everybody. And I mean that with all sincerity. It's total BS. You don't know what the hell you're talking about, and you don't have the ability to compare label to label, ingredient to ingredient, just like I did. And that's what's missing from our company. That's why we're not a billion-dollar company, because nobody's actually had the ability to go out and compare label to label like that and then put it up as part of our website. And it's time I just step up and do that, because I've been doing that for decades. And nobody, but nobody even comes close to our price for the quality and the amounts of product that you're getting under the Enriching Gifts label. Nobody. There is nobody on this planet. I'm not even on this planet. Let alone forget that they're not even in the same ballpark or the same league or even in the same industry. There is no comparison. None. That's why I had that $1 million challenge and offer out there when I first started my private label business in 1990. I knew it back then, and it still holds true to this day. And even if you've got the quality or the milligrams and ingredients, you sure as heck haven't got the digestive capability. So any way you want to cut the pie, Enriching Gifts International is still the most viable and profitable, as well as result-oriented nutritional company anywhere on the planet Earth. Anywhere. I challenge anybody to say any different. Prove me wrong. Now I'm going to calm down.
Oh, we love your passion.
But that's
Ron.
when I'm going to go out to Texas. That's when I'm going to go out to Texas in March, and we're going to do that. We're going to do a whole bunch of product comparisons and values, because people just don't really realize the value that they have in this company. Forget about the ingredients, forget about the integrity, forget about everything else, the research, the clinical trials. There's just nothing out there like Enriching Gifts, and there won't be for a long, long, long time, because it's all about profit and sales and money for everybody else. It's about me creating a disease-free world for every single human being on the planet Earth, if they so choose. So help me God. So we'll eventually get it done one way or another. Anybody got any questions or comments? Anybody? I know we've got another call. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, James here, Ron. Look, you're talking about eye health. I want to ask you, my mother is in her late 80s. She's on a blood thinner, but she's just started to get these bleeds behind her eye. And what they've done, they've sent her to this, medical service. And what they do is they stick a needle in the eye and drain off the blood that's being.
Fluid, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can hear you. I'm following you.
I just want to know, is there anything from a nutritional standpoint that we can use to either strengthen that eye health? I mean, obviously the blood thinners have had some sort of impact, because she's only got to lean forward and put a bit of pressure on her eye and it bleeds. Or what would you suggest?
The heart algae and the aloe max. They will both tremendously help her a lot, especially the heart algae.
Okay.
It does bilberry in it, but it's got the highest antioxidant there is, and antioxidants will help you heal eye bleed as well as brain bleeds. They'll strengthen the vessel. You have much, much better circulation and resistance to those bleeds.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, and I'm probably talking about 4 capsules of each one a day minimum.
Okay, 4 a day.
Okay. All righty.
Thanks.
Anybody else? Any last minute questions, comments? Anybody?
Hey, Ron, this is Curtis from Ohio.
Hey, Curtis, how are you?
Pretty good. I was
Good.
wondering about that catalog. When are you going to get that available?
Oh, doggone that catalog. I'll be honest with you, I still haven't even had a chance to open it up and look at it. I'm just finishing up with my taxes today and tomorrow, so that'll be out of my hair and done. And that's the next project I'm going to try to get on. So there is a catalog that we have coming out for all of our products, all the ingredients. Michelle Meitinger researched it for me. It's just sitting here on my table, a big old manila envelope full, and I got to go through and proofread it, and then we're going to put it together in a catalog form so our people can know about our products and stuff. And you just heard me say, well, here we are halfway through February. I've got to go to Texas in mid-March and do the filming and stuff for the. I'm working on it. I haven't forgot about it. It's still here, and I have it, and it's something I definitely want to prioritize and try to get that out, as well as up on our website so everybody can download it. And for the people like yourself that don't have internet and stuff, so we can get it mailed out to you guys. And I'll make sure that James and Curtis and all those guys have it as well.
That sounds great.
So it is coming. I haven't forgot about you. Just like everything, it's a little slower and I'm a little bit behind.
I don't care.
Okay. All righty. Anybody else have any quick comments? Any questions? One more? One? Going twice. All right. Well, close it out, Dover. Have a great night, everybody.
All right, Ron, thank you. Fantastic call. Next week, what is going to be the topic, Ron?
Next week will be the metabolic complete.
Okay. We look forward to it. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your week, and we'll see you next week, same time, same place. This call's a wrap. Take care, everybody.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
All right. And thanks again, Dover.
Thank you.
You bet. Take care. Good night, everybody.